Take it slowly. This book is dangerous. If it's gonna explode, then why was it available in a children's bookstore? Fox, socks, box, knocks, knocks and box, fox and socks, knocks on fox and socks and box. What the hell am I reading? Hi, sorry. I didn't see you there. Today we're reviewing, Doctor Who The Rescue. First two-parter says he has a destruction. Second two-parter.
Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, I've completely given up on trying to make my Doctor Who reviews short. I have tried almost nothing, but it feels like I've tried everything. Also, like, people can make up to hour-long videos and they can become hits. So, I don't know, this one might be an hour long. I don't care. I know that there are people who have hours to spare. I know that there are teenagers out there who do nothing but just watch Netflix and YouTube all day. So anyway, enough nattering. Time to move on to the actual review.
So, it turns out that the signal that's being picked up is not the rescue ship. It is the TARDIS, which materialized on the mountain where the signal is. So, meanwhile, the Doctor is having trouble getting over the fact that Susan is no longer a part of the TARDIS crew, and there's only 3 people. Sorry, I'm looking into my video camera, and like left is right, right is left. 3 people left on the TARDIS, and the Doctor's acting kind of weird, like he's sleeping through a landing and calling for Susan to do stuff because he keeps on forgetting that she's not with them anymore. They go outside. No, the Doctor wasn't actually going inside the TARDIS for a nap. He was doing it so that he could examine the rocks on the planet. That's why he asked Ian to hand him the rock. And he discovers that he is from a planet called Dido, which apparently he has visited before he even picked up Ian and Barbara, so a time when it was just him and Susan. Meanwhile, Barbara and Ian do exactly what the Doctor asked them to do and explores the cave, and soon find their way out of the cave and find the rocket ship where that girl and the man thing before, and the rocket ship split in 2 and everything. So, they soon come face to face with an alien, which, just like in the Dalek invasion of Earth, just like the Slyther, looks like a man in a suit. He asks how they got there, and they tell him that it's the box that he passed by in the cave. And, he asks if there's any more crew members, and Ian accidentally says that there is when he should have just kept his mouth shut. The monster says that... His name is Coquillian, by the way. Coquillian asks Ian if he can meet him. Well, actually tells him to go fetch him and meet him. So Ian goes off and asks Barbara if she's coming, and then she says yes. So Ian walks off into the cave, and Barbara's about to follow him. Then Coquillian steps in her way and shoves her off of the cliff. So the girl at the beginning of this video is named Vicky, and the man is named Bennett. Sorry, I'm just fixing the cushion on my chair. According to Coquillian, the people on the planet Dido are very evil, and he is the only one who can protect Vicky and Bennett from them. But according to the Doctor, who is still with Ian, after Coquillian just caused an avalanche near the mountain so they can't access Barbara anymore, and they try to find another way out, the Doctor says that they are very friendly people. Luckily, Barbara didn't die from the fall. In fact, she was barely even injured. And Vicky found her and dragged her back and hit her just before Coquillian came back. Coquillian goes to speak with Bennett, and before he enters the door, Bennett simply says you can't come in until Coquillian introduces us himself, and then he can go in for some reason. And then, Vicky explains to Barbara, when they landed, the crew had to go to some meeting, and Vicky was too ill to go there then. And she was ill for days, and there was an explosion, which she just thought was a thunderstorm at the time. And Bennett dragged himself back, and he's so far unable to walk. Vicky hides Barbara under the blanket when she hears footsteps coming because she thinks it's Coquillian, but it turns out that it's just Bennett. Bennett announces that Coquillian told him that he's killed all of the people who arrived in that box. However, Vicky says that that statement would have to be false, and reveals Barbara's current location. For some reason, Bennett seems very disappointed by this.
What was that? I didn't stop me. You tried to talk down there.
Ian and the Doctor are kind of funny together.
Get close. Oh. Jill, I'm over. Can you manage? Chesterton, it's oil. We've got oil on it. What's it doing? Don't come back here. They've trapped you into putting this thing out. What's that noise, Doctor? Don't go further. I can't go either way. Doctor, they're pushing me towards the edge.
Can you speed up the video quickly because I'm going to be chewing for a while. There we go. So, anyway, guess what? Ian doesn't die because, of course the BBC wouldn't, make, 2 episodes in a row where a companion leaves. And not only that, but make a companion die. Yeah, Mythmakers and Daleks Master Plan totally didn't do that. Okay, so, what happened was that Ian simply did something. And I'm not going to tell you what he did because I don't want to be taking the BBC's money from them. Just watch the episode if you want to actually know what happened in it. Barbara, Vicky, and Barbara and Vicky think about maybe setting up a trap for the next time that Quillian comes. However, Bennett just says simply, no! But what if the plan fails, huh? Yeah, Bennett is right all the time.
Vicky! No! No, don't!
Oh my god, that special effect sucked. In the 70s, they had bad special effects. In the 60s, they just had no special effects. Vicky starts crying because the monster that Barbara shot with her sparkle lighted torch thing, which causes a whole explosion around the monster fiery thing. Vicky tells her that that was actually her pet, sort of. Not that she said pet, I'm just saying pet because it's technically pet. She trained him to come over there for food. This is a cookie. The Doctor and Ian make their way out and find Barbara. And if you're wondering about Susan, remember she left in the last story. I think I'm gonna have to remind you that a couple times. So, and then the Doctor, Ian, and Barbara manage to comfort Vicky and stuff, but end up just making Vicky cry. So the Doctor signals Barbara and Ian to leave the room. Now, the Doctor is no longer that grumpy old man who is one of those grandpas who complains about everything. Think that you can buy a better chair than this where I keep on having to adjust this thing on it because of things and things. Child, go get me another cookie. He's one of those more softer grandpas that listen to you and talk to you and all that. So the Doctor uses his new self to comfort Vicky and persuade her to let him see Bennett so that he can talk with Bennett. Since Bennett's plan is to blow up the planet as soon as they leave it, so that Quillian can't get away with what he's done. This is called a cheeseburger pizza. I don't know. So anyway, the Doctor persuades Vicky to give Barbara another chance, and Barbara and Ian end up telling Vicky all about their story about being time travelers and all that, which she doesn't believe one bit. And the Doctor, meanwhile, enters Bennett's room, but again gets the same message as Quillian got earlier, simply, you can't come in. However, when he enters the room, he finds out that it is simply an audio recording. An audio recording that Bennett must put on every single time that he's not in his room. Perhaps, whenever he's not in his room, he puts it on so that whenever the door gets opened, it'll play that message, saying you can't come in, so that people will think that Bennett's in there when really he's somewhere else. And the Doctor finds more proof of my theory by finding a trap door in the floor. The Doctor goes through the trap door and comes out the door that he takes one look at Quillian and knows exactly what is going on. Remember when I said that Quillian looked like a guy in a suit? Well, please ignore the cat that's meowing. This time it actually was a guy in the suit. It was simply Bennett dressed as Quillian. Bennett explains the story to the Doctor that he's insane, basically. He killed a member of their crew when they were flying in space, and he got arrested. And they were gonna send a radio to Earth explaining how he killed one of the members of the crew. When they crash landed, the friendly inhabitants of Dido, just as the Doctor said, they were quite friendly and not evil, they simply invited them over for a meeting. That's when Bennett realized that this was a good time to make it so that he wouldn't be arrested on Earth. Vicky didn't go, of course, because, as she said, she was sick, but everyone else did. Bennett set up explosives to kill all the people of Dido as well as the rest of the crew. And Vicky was unaware of Bennett's being arrested, and since no one on Earth, no way that anyone on Earth would be aware of his crimes. Because Vicky didn't know about it, the rest of the crew is dead, no signal radio has been sent yet. So what happened was that Bennett picked up robes and masks that he found, which were only used on celebrations, and dressed up as Coquillion, and told Vicky that the inhabitants of Dido were very evil. The Doctor takes a look at Coquillion's weapon, and finds out that it does create explosive nearby, and he accidentally sets it off, causing a huge explosion nearby a wall, making this huge cliff on the other end. The Doctor and Bennett get into a fight, however luckily it turns out that Bennett didn't kill every single people of Dido, as there were at least 2 who came by to help the Doctor, and they cornered Bennett by the cliff that the Doctor accidentally set up, and Bennett fell down. And then the Dido people took care of the Doctor, who was knocked out. The Doctor later got out and told what happened to Ian, Barbara, and Vicky, and then Vicky finds out that she doesn't have any family or friends left. So the Doctor invites her to take the place of Susan on the TARDIS.
But it's huge. The outside is just... Well, Vicky, are you going to come with us? Oh, I'd like to. Yes, if you'd have me.
Of course, the Doctor didn't really invite Vicky on the TARDIS because she was alone, simply because he needed someone to take the 4th place on the TARDIS. For a 2-parter, it was quite good, and it's 2 parts long, so it's not that long if you have 50 minutes to spare, which might seem... I mean, like, nowadays a 50-minute episode would be a special episode. Right now, a 50-minute episode is pretty much as short as you can get if you ignore Mission to the Unknown. And, yeah, so, I quite enjoyed this story, and hopefully you feel the same way. I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen many reviews on this story done by other people, so I'm not sure if it's a well-loved story or a well-hated story or mixed feelings or... Unlike the Censors and the Dalek Invasion of Earth, it does stand out in my collection, and I do notice it. So, see you next time with story number 12, The Romans. It's coming out next week. Bye.